Brilliant scientists like Bruce Banner and his assistant Betty Ross were working on a top-secret project. They believed they had created a serum that could protect people from radiation poisoning, which at the time was a big problem. You see, during the Gulf War, depleted uranium munitions were widely used, and it was believed that the dust created from these munitions caused a lot of health issues for both the soldiers and the civilians. So this serum would have been incredibly useful to protect people from that. But here's the thing. The serum was designed to protect people from radiation poisoning, but it needed to be tested first. And in order to do that, they needed someone to volunteer to be injected with a large dose of radiation. Now, of course, this is a huge health risk, but Banner and Ross were confident that the serum would protect this person from any ill effects. So why not just test it on someone who wasn't a soldier? Well, the reason is that Banner and Ross were trying to recreate a serum that had been developed during World War II. This original serum was designed to protect people from the harmful effects of radiation, but it was never perfected. And there was one key component that Banner and Ross were unable to recreate, which was the source of the radiation itself. The original serum used something called Vita radiation, but what exactly that is, or where it came from, was unknown. However, we do know that it was some form of electromagnetic radiation, because when the serum was exposed to it, the test subject's body glowed an eerie green. So Banner and Ross decided to use gamma radiation instead. Gamma radiation is a form of electromagnetic radiation that is emitted from the nucleus of a radioactive atom. It's used in things like X-ray machines and nuclear medicine. Now, this was a risky move because gamma radiation is very dangerous and can cause a lot of damage to the body. But Banner and Ross were desperate to get their serum right, and they believed that the risks were worth it. What they didn't realize was that they were about to make a horrifying discovery. In order to test the serum, they needed someone to volunteer to be injected with a large dose of gamma radiation, and that someone was Betty Ross. She knew that this was a huge risk, but she was a brilliant scientist, and she believed that the potential benefits of the serum were worth it. She also had a personal connection to the research as her father had been exposed to radiation and had developed a malignant brain tumor. If the serum worked, it could not only help soldiers, it could also help her father and potentially millions of other people who had been exposed to radiation. So with the serum complete, Banner and Ross injected themselves into her and then exposed her to a large dose of gamma radiation. The results were terrifying. Her body began to glow an eerie green, just like the test subjects in the original experiments. And although she did survive the ordeal, she was never the same again. The gamma radiation had damaged her DNA, and she began to develop tumors. Banner and Ross were horrified, and they immediately began trying to find a cure. They believed that if they could just find a way to boost her immune system, she might be able to fight off the tumors. But unfortunately, it was too late. The radiation had caused too much damage, and she died. So what was the purpose of the experiment? Well, they did find a way to eliminate malignant brain tumors caused by radiation exposure. They also found a way to strengthen the immune system and even find a remedy for neurodegenerative diseases, but all of that came at a terrible cost. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of radiation and the lengths that some people will go to in the name of science.